Good afternoon. I'm so happy to be part of the panel here, to be part of the distinguished members of the panel here. And in yesterday's point, and I'm so excited to be talking about passion and professionalism. Why? Because this is really this is where I come from. But I was driving a point that the driver of passion is really love. We cannot really have passion without love. Right? Do you agree, women, ladies? So what I'm saying is that in love, I would like to quote our favorite philosopher and theologian, Father Bernard Lonergan, who says that if you love, you're able to be attentive to the experiences. When you're in love, diba, you are really attentive to the person you love. You're able to be intelligent, you're understanding. With love, you're able to be sensible to your decision. And with love, you are responsible with your actions. So that's it. I mean, love is really the driver of the passion. And for professionalism, I feel that, you know, we have this passionate love and passion for professionalism in the community. Because I feel that we belong to a community. First of all, as a mother, we are really the drivers of the family community, right? The basic family unit, which is the family community. And I feel that as a woman leader, we really lead with the mind and with the heart and the intuitive mind. I know I always stress this point because women are really very intuitive. I don't know, men, you might. I know.
We're getting there.
Really, I feel that. I don't know why, but I feel that. That's really the intuitive mind of a woman. So, as women, I think we would like to drive the professionalism in the community, in our communities, whatever communities we belong to. I mean, as a community, we have been mentioning many topics about communities here. Anna also mentioned, and Yanina mentioned about communities. But what defines the community? The definition of the community is really, it goes back to the common experience that we belong to a community if we have the common experience, we have the common understanding, we have the common decision, and we have the common action. That defines the community. And I hope that we together, the women in this hall now, will define this community, who is the community that's in love, for the purpose of, with a sense of mission. What is this mission? To serve? Yes. Is that only to benefit our pockets and improve the bottom line? But actually, it boils down to what is the purpose of our lives here. The meaning of life is really to be able to draw the best out of the person and to be able to make the other person grow in our basic community.
What drove me to actually be probably as passionate as the women and the gentlemen in this panel to drive what I drive in the business that I lead today is very much anchored in what Ms. Nina earlier talked about, which is anchored on family. In the early days, and as mentioned by the chairman, Miguel, that it's what you see in your family that actually molds you and creates the purpose that you will actually dedicate yourself to later in life. I have a grandmother who is very much an entrepreneur, and what she says, I said, why did you choose to become a businesswoman? She says, because I create a lot of businesses for many families and create that multiplier, and not being in a corporate environment, not being just an employee. And then my mother also turns out to be an entrepreneur, and then here I am coming into the corporate workforce, a disappointment clearly, and I deviant to the family tradition. But nonetheless, what I've realized is in this chosen corporate field, we create just as much value as we do, influencing a lot of lives as much as an entrepreneur does, and inspiring women as much as an entrepreneur does, educating a lot of people, and at the same time making a lot of people also hopeful for the future. And one of the reasons why I picked actually this forum, I'm supposed to be in another forum, which is technology disrupting the workforce of today, is because I find that in the Philippines, we are very much privileged to actually be in a society where we don't have to fight the battle of women better than men. It's actually women side by side with men driving the country towards where we want it to be, with not a lot of barriers. And so that's what drives me, is knowing that no matter how you define what success is, and in whatever context, whether in your own businesses or in an organization where we all, like, the women here work in, it is what matters most to you and what you believe in as you move forward and just create value in each and every person that you work with. And at the same time, making sure that you play a part in the future that will be there for our children and our children's children. And that's why I continue to do what I do, because I like to be part of the architect of what the future will be for my children. And so that's why I don't think I see myself stopping doing what I do.
With humility, I'd like to say that I think I've achieved a certain level of success when it comes to my profession. But what really makes me happy at the end of the day is what I go home to. I am happily married, been married for the past 19 years. And I actually have 4 children, ages 7 to 17. They make me happy and they make me successful. If you ask me what makes me most proud with what I have achieved, I think I've managed to actually break the corporate glass ceiling with the MVP group. I believe I am one of only 2 female presidents and CEOs, right? And I am heading not 1 but actually 3 companies in the organization. I was appointed Signal President 6 years ago, appointed TV5 President 3 months ago, and I currently manage around 1,200 people. So that's what I'm most proud of. But in terms of what I'm most happy with what I do at work, it's not beating competition, it's not hitting the targets. It's actually, because I provide TV viewing experiences for Filipino homes. It's actually seeing the faces and the smiles of children who for the first time when they turn on their television set sees Mickey Mouse in Disney Channel, or they suddenly see Animal Planet or BBC Earth. That drives me, knowing that I'm able to positively impact the lives of people.
I'm a man. The topic given is women as professionals putting passion and professionalism in workplace. I come from the People Management Association of the Philippines. We're a 62-year-old HR Managers Association, and we have about 2,000 company members. And we advocate gender equality in the workplace. And based on our research, hold on ladies, we found out that Filipinas in the workplace have proven themselves in numerous industries, much more better than men. Remember, I said in numerous industries, not all. Bumabawi lang. Filipinas are given the same opportunities as their male counterparts for their work and as hard and as much. And women are not afraid to let their voices be heard in the workplace. In the introduction, we mentioned about the World Economic Forum data that will will take 2 centuries to close the gap. But there is good news for the Philippines. Out of 149 countries, the Philippines is ranked number 8. That's a big achievement. And this is 2 notches higher than last year, wherein we were ranked 10th in gender gap index. Now, we've also found out there is a downside. Because we found out in our research that we've seen many women who leave or give up their careers because of what Nina mentioned earlier. Taking care of children, taking care of the household. And we lose a lot of talent and competencies because of this. That's why I'm appealing to the men.
Stay home. Wash the dishes and take care of
No,
the kids.
because this is an age-old culture. Wherein ang lalaki, pag nagtrabaho sa bahay, under na. And I can ask my wife to come here and tell you how she trained me. What I'm trying to say is men should share in the responsibility of household and everything. Because there are women out there who lose their careers because of childcare, as I mentioned earlier. Now, the other result of the research is that many women and many employees give you better productivity if companies give family-oriented benefits, family-responsive benefits. It's common because the Philippines is known for being malasakit. That's why in most of our PMAP awards, we've given this for the past 40 years. The winners are those with malasakit, those who respond to the family needs of their employees, regardless of whether they are men or women. So, my hats off to the ladies.
I think it's not a matter of being better or being. I really don't see any difference actually, because I've had male bosses and I've had female bosses, and they're equally inspiring. No, but it depends on the disposition of the individual. I think I would not like to make that difference. I think the millennials and this generation, for example, have more options, no, in terms of careers, in terms of where they want to be, in terms of they're not like our generation where we have to stay with companies for longer periods of time, and we don't really like hop from one company to another. And but with them, because the choice is there, and you see the change where. In the past, you become a doctor, you become a lawyer, you become an engineer, an accountant, for example. But today, they self-define their own careers. There's so many startups now, and they're wanting to get into that business as well. Of course, 90% of them fail, but it doesn't matter, you know, because they know that there's always tomorrow. I like the optimism of the young. And of course, like big organizations are wanting to blend that with the millennials that they take in, because you have to keep them excited all the time. Their disposition is a bit different, and their attention span is not as long as what we used to have. And but you have to recognize that they're bringing in another dimension to the workplace. And their talent is so different now. They're so agile in the way they think. And it's interesting to work with them. And if we are not able to bridge that gap within organizations, it will be very difficult. For the more established ones, I was in Boston last week, and there was this very big company that was talking about that, you know, and saying that if we don't change now, or if we don't try to work with the young today, we become very irrelevant, and it doesn't make us like anything for the better of the future. We might as well retire because the young will take over whether we like it or not.
the global internet companies are coming to eat our lunch, which is our revenue, our profits, etc. And that's why, as Ms. Nina was talking about, it's very important that we keep ourselves very relevant. And the way we do that is making sure that we keep our head to the ground, our hearts near where it matters, in terms of always making sure that we are able to solve the problems that our customers have, and making sure the solutions that we create for them today are actually relevant. So the reason why 917 Ventures was created for Globe is because we need to go beyond telco services to solve people's problems, because not all problems of Filipinos are solved by having a data plan or a postpaid plan today, or a connectivity. There are so many problems of the Filipinos today that are requiring a lot of us actually coming together across industries, serving them where it matters, across many, many spaces, whether it be health, insurance, wealth management, education, many, many industries that we think are still today actually underserved, unserved, or not penetrated enough for the Filipinos. So we remain to be committed to be part of actually solving problems for the Filipinos beyond what we originally set out to do, which was pure connectivity. And as Nina also alluded to, we know we will be failing in many of those attempts, because you don't get it right the first time, the second time, or the third time. That's why it's so important we attract also the right mindset. We get the young people getting mixed with people with experience, such as us here in the panel. And so striking the right mix, I guess, between experience, youth, technology, will be the secret to how we can move this all forward beyond being just women, but women in leadership positions, actually showing that, number one, we are ready to take a stand in also architecting the future for the Filipinos. And if we fail along the way, then so be it, because we will also have successes along the way, and the big winner will actually be us Filipinos in general anyway. So we take the plunge for the Filipinos. Now are giving the women the tougher jobs, right? Do you agree? It's like when there's a mission or a new mission or a big job or something to fix, I get a sense that they do pick the women for the many reasons probably that have been spoken about with the previous speakers. And for what the women of today actually can do. And despite having to do the difficult job, whatever that is, we still manage to get out of it, inspiring people, I guess, and motivating people. So I say that they pick the women to do the dirty, the difficult, and the unknown jobs that they don't choose, because they're afraid to fail. But women, we can fail, and parang okay lang. Okay lang, diba? But no, but then we prove ourselves really well, so we grab the opportunity and prove them wrong. Isn't that amazing for us?